Hey Knuckle Draggers, Jack here with Sergeant Survival. Normally I open up survival gear, review it for you and things like that, show you some of the things I bought off of Wish and Amazon, well, what you can expect out of it. Today we're going to do things a little bit different. I'm going to show you how to make some fire starters, maybe save you some money in the long run, maybe it's some stuff that you have laying around the house. The first one we're going to make some pucks. Now we're going to make these out of white candle I have laying around here in the house, some cotton pads. A lot of women use them to remove makeup and things from their face. My wife had quite a few laying around. Vaseline and some cotton balls. Never know. The other thing, you're going to need a pan that you don't care to lose because the wax may get stuck in there. You might not be able to clean it all the way out. And something to lay them on to cool down. The first ones we're going to do is the hockey pucks here. The wax from the candle, I've already shaved it down. It's already been heated up on the stove to save a little bit of time. All I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to dip them in there, and then we're just going to lay them on this plate over here. And then after it cool, while it's cooling down, we'll go ahead and we'll make one of the cotton ball ones. So I dropped it in there, get it nice and saturated. I'm going to bring this plate over here so that it's not dripping all the way across my stove. There's one. They get pretty saturated as soon as you throw them in there, so that's what you can expect. We'll only do about 2 or 3 to start it off. I got 2 on there, patting down. They get a little fluffy after you pull them apart. It's a pretty quick process too, so like I said, it's time and money saving. You don't have to wait on them to come from Amazon. The candle, I think overall was like $1.49 here in Germany. You can probably find a cheaper candle. Doesn't really matter what color it is. I like white to keep the color of the pads. But any candle will work. I'm also here in a second. I'm going to grab my wife's Scentsy warmer because I've heard that you can use the Scentsy wax as well. And the wax that she has in her warmer now it's not good anymore. So we're going to use that and see if it does the same thing. All right, get this last one out of this pan here. And in total, I'm going to separate these a little bit farther so they don't get stuck together once they're dry. All right, so in total, as you see here, I got 5 of those pads in there. They've been coated nicely in wax. Just so you can see the wax where it's been melting. I'm not going to tilt it up too far here, but just in this pan. Turns out clear after you heat it up. I know you couldn't really see it in there, but I don't want to tilt it any farther and get it all over the counter. All right. The next one I have here, as you see, I just pulled this off my wife's Scentsy warmer over there. This stuff's going to cool down pretty quick with the Scentsy wax, so I'm just going to take a couple of these. I don't know how many it'll do. This wax is green. Like I said, it doesn't really matter what color it ends up being. So, 1. If I break it, she'll kill me. There's 2. And I think there's going to be just enough to do 3 of them in here. Yep. With the wax she had in there, just enough to do 3 with the Scentsy wax. So, as I showed you before, now you have 3 of the ones from the Scentsy wax, 3 of the ones from the candle wax. Now, I'm not real sure how this one's going to work. Seeing quite a few other people do reviews on using regular candle wax, but never actually used Scentsy wax. So, while these cool, we're going to go ahead, we're going to move on to the next one here. And the next one is super simple. So I'm just going to take simple cotton balls, put them in here with a little bit of Vaseline. We're going to knead them around a little bit to get the Vaseline saturated inside there. And then we're going to pull them out. And if you saw the snus can laying there, that's what I'm going to use to store these cotton balls in when I'm done. If you don't have these, an Altoid box, so just a little metal box would work. The pucks will be too big to fit in here, but an Altoid can, I'm pretty sure they would fit pretty well in. But moving on to the next one, all I'm going to do here, Vaseline, $1, $2 at any store, and it'll spread out a pretty good ways here. So I'm just gonna put a spoonful in this bag, and I have, as you see, just thrown it in there. Now I'm just gonna take some of these cotton balls. You know what? We're just gonna throw them all in there. I'm gonna put them in here with that, and we're just gonna knead it around with the cotton balls. Let the cotton balls get saturated in there. All right. Also, something, normally we would start this with a ferro rod or something of that nature, but since I'm in my home kitchen right now, I'm just going to show you guys with a lighter and this top of my pan here. Also have a thing of water sitting here in case, well, actually just to put it out once I get it going. That way it doesn't smoke my house up. As you see, I'm just sitting here kneading these inside the bag. You'll know once they're pretty well saturated. But as you see, it's kind of a mess in there. But right now, all the cotton balls are pretty well saturated in there. I can tell you right now, the pucks are not dry yet. So give you something to do in spare time while you're waiting for them to dry. I mean, unless you're doing a large quantity of it. Turn this burner off as well while I'm doing this. That way I can tilt the wax up here in a minute and show you after it's hardened back up. And you can just leave that wax in there if it's a pan you don't plan on using. All right, these are pretty good to go. So we're gonna take them out. Sorry, the angle, I gotta put the camera so I get the stove and stuff in there. You might lose me a couple times. Grab a paper towel here, clean my hands off. I'm gonna wipe them down just a little bit. You don't have to. You can leave it on there to help keep them saturated longer. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put these in this can over here. Turned out pretty well, actually. They're nice and saturated, not too saturated, not overly saturated either. Because once you get Vaseline on your hands, it's hard to get it off. All right. So, we have the first ones done here. As I told you before, the Vaseline will help it burn longer for the cotton ball. Obviously, a cotton ball will burn. We all know that. But the having a Vaseline on there will help them burn longer. So, I'm not even going to use a full one here. I'm just going to pull a piece off, roll around the Vaseline that's already on it. And as I stick it in the pan there, and it ain't lighter because, like I said, in the kitchen, not going to use a ferro rod in here. As you see, I rolled it there, but it's actually easy with a ferro rod. I don't know if you can see it there. I'll tilt the camera down a little bit. As you see, burning normal cotton ball would have already been gone by now. This with petroleum jelly on there, it's going to burn for a while. It'll help you so that you can get your kindling and stuff like that going. I'm not going to let it burn here too long because I don't know if you see it, but there's a little bit of smoke coming off of it. But as you see, cotton ball's barely going anywhere. So, great fire starter, really cheap. I don't really know anybody that doesn't have cotton balls in their house. I'll go ahead and put this out too. All right. So I don't know anybody that doesn't have cotton balls in their house. A lot of people have Vaseline in their house as well. Normal use items in your home. Definitely serve well as a fire starter. Burn for a long time, so it'll help you get your fire going. Cans. Candy, if your kids get candy or something that comes in a metal can, metal tin, works out perfect. As you see, I just stored mine in a snus container. And again, that was just regular Vaseline and some cotton balls. Even after it's out, I'm going to soak the water back out of it here a little bit, push it out. We're going to see if it'll light again. That way we see if it, after it gets wetted, if it'll still burn. And I don't know if I pushed enough water out of it. We should be able to still get a little bit of the flame off of it. As you see, I just pulled it out of the cup of water, squeezed a little bit of water off of it, and it lit right back up. So definitely good in terms of it's raining outside or something. You're still going to have something that you can start your fire with here. And it's just going to continue to burn. I'm going to put that one back out now, and we're going to go ahead and see if any of these puffs are dry. Still not really dry yet. I am going to peel them off the plate though, so I can turn them over and get some air to the opposite side. That one's actually really stuck on there. Still kind of soft at this point. We'll check the ones from with the Scentsy wax on them here in a second as well. Some of these people I've seen some people make these and they end up being as hard as a brick, and then they are actually able to just break pieces of it apart. They're cool enough at this point. I'm gonna go ahead and lay them out here, so they get a little more air to the underside of them. Stuck on the plate pretty well, like I said. So again, easy things to do if you're wanting to prep. You're going out for, we'll say you're going out for a camping trip, or you're just bored in your house, nasty weather outside, and you want something to do. These are the Scentsy wax ones here. And a lot of people they're using this and they don't even realize they are. A lot of your fire starters that you see on survival channels and things like that, really all it is a form of cotton or a form of gauze that's wax coated, and you'll see people, they'll fray out the edge, and then they'll take their ferro rod up the side, they'll get their sparks on it and light it up, and then once they get their fire going, they'll just simply put it out, put it back in their bag or something at that point. I'll show you that with one of each of these here in a minute after they're somewhat dry. A few seconds here. Still somewhat wet. But another thing later on, maybe a couple weeks or so, I'll show you how to make some fat wood. The one thing I didn't get today was tiki torch fluid. So with the wood, you can take pieces of wood, soak it in tiki torch fluid, let it sit for 24 hours in that, and then pull it out and let the outside dry a little bit. And then you're basically going to do the same thing. You're going to dip it in the wax, but you'll see white foam coming out. That is some of it escaping out of the wood. And in the wax, what it does is it seals it, and then you can just shave shavings off, and that's how they make the fat wood too. A lot of them use different stuff other than tiki torch fluid. There's different igniters that they'll use to do that. But all right, so as you see, these aren't super flimsy anymore. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take, I'm just going to rough the edge of one up. As you see there, I fluffed the edge up on one. And as you see, it's going to burn super slow and super wide there. Now, as I said before, these you'll be able to put out. So I'm just going to take this and put it out real quick. Put it out. And if you look at it, it barely burnt any of the edge of it. So I'm going to fray it out a little bit more. Frayed it back out. We're just going to go ahead and light it again. Where I frayed it out again, if you could see, that's exactly where it was frayed out. Definitely, these are multi-use. You can sit it underneath there. You can use it once. If you use or you let it dry long enough, the wax will be hard enough. You can actually cut or break these pieces in half. Not going to take that time in the video to show you that. Again, put it out. I could at least lit some kindling with that. Now, the Scentsy ones are a little bit harder at this point. Like I said, not real sure how these are going to light. We're going to, the wax is really to keep it more waterproof than anything. I'm going to fluff up the corner of this, as you see, as I did the one before it there. And we're going to see if the Scentsy Wax one works just as well. So, as you see, same deal as before. Definitely lit up super easy. Something I didn't show you with the first one, but we're going to do it here. My my cup of water here, I'm going to dunk this in there and pull it off. I don't know if you can see the drips coming off of it, but got some water on it. I just shook it a little bit. Let's see if it lights up just the same. So I fluffed it out a little bit. Again, like I said, dipped it in water, definitely made a difference. So that one works well, definitely waterproof at this point. This one, we'll try the Scentsy, dip it in there. Water on it. I'm going to fray a corner of it out again. So you can still see a little bit of water on there, but at this point, frayed the corner back out. Maybe doesn't light as well with the Scentsy Wax, but it will still light. You dry it off enough, as you see, it burns out a little bit quicker. So candle wax, definitely. See if I can dry this off a little bit with my hands, and then we'll fluff out a different corner of it. The Scentsy Wax so far, I would definitely say the candle wax worked way better. We were able to light it, just pulling it out with the water still all over it. The Scentsy Wax one, I did get it to light again. So you'll just have to dab a little bit more water off of it. It takes a little bit more with a ferro rod. It'll still be super simple. Just make sure you fluff up a corner of it. Again, thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions on what you just saw, again, just hit me up in the comments below. If you like what you saw, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you hit the bell on there, it'll let you know when I post new videos. You'll see me making some more things on here, showing them as we go. I'll put a description in the link of all the stuff that I use to make this. Again, like I said, super cheap to make your own fire starters. $1, $2 candle. I'm sure you can find them cheaper than that, but I'm here in Germany, so things are a little bit more expensive. And then cotton balls and petroleum jelly, we all know that stuff's cheap. But thank you guys for watching. You guys have a wonderful weekend. Bye.